You may be wondering, why does Dave have a cooking channel? I do a lot of other things. I'm in a lot of other spaces. I talk about my car. I talk about Disney. I talk about a lot of things. Why am I doing cooking as well? Well, as we got home for the pandemic here and we started cooking more at home, I've always cooked at home. I like to cook. I like to always be making something. I thought, why not share some of the things that we're doing? Look, in my family, we have an interesting mix of things happening here. I always ate everything when I was growing up. I never questioned it. My wife was a little more leaning toward vegetarian, though she wasn't completely there. One of my sons decided to be vegetarian. My other two kids have different varying things that they like to eat. Some cross over, some don't. So we decided that while we were home, all of us, we'd stick more to vegetarian dishes. Now, since my wife eats fish, I'd call it pescatarian, and we add that in the mix. So we do some things with fish, but otherwise, we haven't had meat now in however many weeks we've been home, 14, 15 weeks or whatever it is that we've been home. We haven't had any meat, and it's, that's to our advantage in a way just because of the fact that it's hard to get meat. Now, like I said, I ate everything growing up, but somewhere along the way, I got really sick on beef one time, and I haven't eaten beef in 5 or 6 years, and I don't miss it. There's a lot of substitutes for it, from the Beyond Meat burgers to the Impossible Burger to other things. I don't really miss it. I never really liked steak to begin with, but I miss the mouthfeel of like a burger. So I'm glad I can get that. And here's the thing, as I was giving up other meats and trying other things, what I wanted was to replace some of the textures, the flavors, some of the mouthfeel of some of these different dishes. I like a lot of flavor in my food. And if I can recreate that mouthfeel and create something, then I'm very happy. So I've tried a lot of different things on the grill. I'm trying to smoke some different meats, meat-like things, not meats, but try some things that taste like smoked meats so that I can get that sort of flavor. With a barbecue sauce, it works out pretty well. And I've tried some things like that. I like to do things that have a little more texture to them. So you'll see me making a lot of different things that have textures and are interesting and approachable in a way. I don't want to just eat vegetables. I like vegetables, but I don't want to just eat vegetables. I want things that make me feel comfortable, right? It's comfort food, but it's a vegetarian form of comfort food, or sometimes I sneak a little fish in there, and it's a fish kind of comfort food. And it's something that's familiar to me and I'm comfortable with and that I like eating. So I want to share those recipes with you, some of the things that I do, because for me, it's more about the flavors and making something interesting. Look, it turned out to be about health, even though it wasn't intentionally about that. As I've started eating more vegetarian over these weeks, I've started to feel better. I didn't feel bad particularly before, but I never really thought about it. And now that I've eaten more vegetarian meals, I actually feel different. I feel more energy. I feel more, less aches and pains overall, and just generally feel better. So for me, it's anecdotal, but it's important. So I'd like to share that with you and some of the things that I see, some of the things that I try, just so you can see some things. My recipes, I try to keep it very simple for you. When I show you my recipes, I hope you'll find that they're pretty simple and straightforward. They're not that hard to make. You can replicate it in your house, and I try to give you alternatives for things that you could try if you want to try flavoring it up differently than what I do. Again, textures, flavors, spices. Some of the things I make are definitely more spicy, some are less spicy, but I try to make things that are interesting that hopefully everybody in our house will eat. They don't always, but I try to make things that are interesting that everybody will try at least. So there you go. That's my story about these cooking things that I'm doing, and I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope you enjoy.